Hi there, my name is Owen Bastable. I'm a trainer with Project React. In this short video, I'm going to talk to you about how to select and design neutralizing routines. I'll talk about how to practice them using some videos, and then I'll give you some examples and resources. I just wanted to note this is part 2, so if you want an overview of this strategy, you can check out part 1, and then part 3 will be on teaching neutralizing routines to students. So to begin with, you're going to need this worksheet to follow along with the steps I'm going to share. Everything I'm doing is going to come from this worksheet, and it's linked here at the bottom of the slide. I'd recommend selecting neutralizing routines, especially school-wide, with your staff. So if you want to do this at a staff meeting, or you could do it as a school team at grade levels as well. Or you can do it individually if you wish. The whole process takes about 30 to 45 minutes. The first part of this is identifying your vulnerable decision point. So I'm not going to go into this in great detail. If you want to know more about VDPs and identifying them, you can also look at this worksheet as well. And you can use school data, and it also has some questions to identify personal VDPs. So going to the worksheet, I'd like to start with step 1, which is brainstorming possible school-wide neutralizing routines. So we're going to think about school-wide how you would do this. What this would look like is just generating a list with as many as you can come up with without any judgment, good, bad, just get them down on paper. And then once you've done that, identifying whether these ideas have the 5 critical features of neutralizing routines, which are listed here. Once you've identified that they are in fact neutralizing routines, they're doable, brief, and so forth, deciding on a neutralizing routine is the next one on a school-wide neutralizing routine. And it's fine if you have your own personal one, but as a school, we're trying to agree on what everybody's going to use. This is one way of doing it, a gallery walk selection activity. So school staff can go up and identify the one that they like by marking it or using a post-it note. And you can see the 3 that this school have identified for themselves as the top candidates. If you're struggling to come up with examples, here's a couple you could share with your team or with your staff. And the next step then is practicing it. So you've agreed on a neutralizing routine. It's important to try it out in practice. In some cases, it's very useful to come back a month or 2 later and check in with everybody to see if this school-wide routine really working. Do we need to modify, tweak it? And that's a good discussion to have with the staff. So for the purpose of giving you a chance to practice, today I'm going to show you some videos. The first video is they're going to be both classroom videos. I'm going to ask you to think through these 2 questions. So you can pause the video if you need to. You're going to be thinking about what's the teacher thinking about and what is the student thinking about. That's a quick example of classroom behavior. So take a look at the video, pause if you need to, and just take a look at it on your own time. And then we're going to come back and answer these 2 questions. So again, you might want to pause the video and have a discussion about these 2 questions. Now I'm going to show you a second video, and I'm going to give you a chance to practice your neutralizing routine, the school-wide one that you've identified. You visualize yourself saying and doing it in this video. What will happen is you'll see a brief snippet of an interaction, and then there'll be a pause which will allow you to practice and visualize you using your neutralizing routine. So you'll be saying it to yourself to see if it's a good fit for you and is it going to work for you. And here's some additional reflection questions. How did it feel when you used it? What might have helped you use it? What might hinder you from using this? We're really just trying it on. And here's a way you can kind of, on the worksheet, you can just jot down some notes about what might help or hinder you from using the neutralizing routine that you've just practiced. And finally, we're going to look at plans for success. What do we need as a school to ensure that we're doing this consistently? What reminders might be useful? What else might you need? And from this plan, we want to develop from these ideas, we want to develop a plan to maximize its use. And here's some simple examples that you can come back to, but they might include including reminders in neutralizing, in morning announcements. Excuse me. So the last thing I wanted to show you is everything I've shared today is in this document. It's a 1-page document. The narrated voiceover and all of the links that I've shared, so you can check this out for additional information. Thanks so much for checking out this video, and I really hope you find this to be a helpful strategy.